So Pokimane of all people decided to give her opinion on Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance, and it's as crazy as you can imagine. If you want my take on it, to me, it was alright. You know, I don't love it. I don't hate it. Pretty indifferent on the whole thing. I'm also not a Kendrick fan, so if there's any artist that I'm kind of indifferent about, if they performed, I'd probably say the performance I'm indifferent to anyway, but her take is just crazy. We can read here. Pokimane speaks on the people saying Kendrick Lamar didn't deserve to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show. Quote, only white people hated it. I didn't want to say it. The only people I saw with this take were white men. Let's take a listen.
With probably zero musical capabilities think that Kendrick Lamar didn't deserve the halftime show. What?
Okay, so 11 seconds in, and her first argument is already nonsense. The whole people with zero musical capabilities argument is just nonsense. Like, since when did you need to have a Grammy on your shelf to have an opinion on music? Do you need to be a chef to say if a burger tastes bad? Do you need to be a film director to say a movie sucked? No, this is just a lazy way to shut down criticism without actually addressing it. Now, I actually agree with her. I mean, I do think that Kendrick deserved the Super Bowl performance, or at least the slot. He had one of the craziest years in music history. His streams were through the roof. I think he has the highest streamed diss track of all songs. So the numbers, which are I think the best indicator of if people enjoy someone's music, do seem to show that people enjoy his music. But her argument is just stupid. And it's funny how that logic only works one way. Like, if you think Kendrick deserved a spot, no credentials needed. Your opinion is valid. But if you dare to question it, oh no, you must be some talentless idiot who doesn't get it. It's such a weak argument. Like, you can respect someone's talent and still think they weren't the best choice for the event. Just not how opinions work. At the end of the day, not everyone's a Kendrick fan, but, you know, acting like any disagreement is ignorance, it's just, you know, like, you're in an echo chamber. You're in a bubble.
Like, sure, we could sit here all day and be like, oh, I actually think this artist deserved it. What? Only white people hated it. I didn't want to say it. As a white passing person, I didn't want to say that.
All right, so this is not true. She obviously was dying to say that. We can see the look on her face. She was dying to say that only white people hated it. You know, it was probably the whole point she even brought this up. She wanted to mention that. And also this whole, as a white passing person, I mean, that's just a whole other can of worms to get into. I do think that she would probably not be saying, hey, you know, I'm a white passing person when it wouldn't be convenient to her. Like, you know, she's only dropping this whole, like, oh, I look white thing now because it gives her more of a leg up when making this argument, or it gives her some sort of like a perceived authority to speak on this issue, right? But if it was most beneficial for her to bring up some other part of her ethnic makeup for whatever reason, probably an argument point, she definitely would. So it's just picking and choosing what identity you want to be today. You're playing dress up when it serves you best in the argument. Super cringe.
But you saying that and me repeating that message, I'm just gonna let that sit.
I don't even know what that means. What does this mean? You saying that and me repeating the message? What message? That people don't like the show? I don't get it. What's the message? I don't know what she's talking about, who she's talking about. It's very, very vague. I think intentionally because there is no, she can't get into specifics. Like, I don't know.
The people that I saw with this take the most were white men. Ain't nothing wrong with being a white man.
Well, this is obviously the case because, shockingly, the main demographic of people who watch football is fucking white guys. Like, this is so obvious to me. I don't understand why she brought this up thinking this was her mic drop moment. You can literally see with her posture and gesticulation, her body language is like, yeah, this is the part you should really care about. This isn't a mic drop moment. Most people who watch football are fucking white guys, and they're white guys like in their 40s and 50s, old ass white people watching football. I don't know what to tell you. Like, Kendrick Lamar is not for everyone, and a lot of white people that, you know, like country music or other type of shit, they're just not gonna fuck with it. It's not racist, and I think even framing it in this way of bringing up race is strange. Like, let me paint a picture for you. If there was like an equivalent halftime show at like the NBA finals, and there was a country singer, and a bunch of black fans of the NBA were like, yeah, this fucking sucks, we don't like this. You wouldn't be like, oh yeah, it's crazy how the only people who have a problem with this singer is black people. You wouldn't say that. It doesn't make sense. It sounds distasteful. You're doing the same exact argument in another way.
And that's not the point. My point is that, you know, I feel like if you watched his performance and really took it in, you'd be like, there are some underlying messages that the performance is trying to convey, especially during Black History Month. So you sitting there, again, respectfully, whatever, being like, oh, I don't think he deserved it. It's just like, stop.
Listen, nobody's watching the Super Bowl for a TED Talk, so this whole idea of like you should really be listening to this message is just retarded. Like, most people who are watching the Super Bowl or football in general are fucking drunk. They're just drunk trying to watch a game, and the whole point of a halftime show is entertainment. It's not a deep socio-political seminar. The people watching this game have been pounding beers and wings for hours. You think they're sitting there going, oh yes, the underlying thematic message of Kendrick Lamar's performance truly resonates with the historical significance of Black History Month. No, they're either vibing with it or they're waiting for the game to come back on. Pokimane is acting like people must receive some sort of profound message to properly understand the performance. It's just completely out of touch brain. She's probably never watched a football game in her life. It's ridiculous. People aren't looking for symbolism. It's just supposed to be like a cool looking performance for people that, you know, either enjoy the music or don't. It's supposed to be for everybody. It's supposed to be for football fans. And viewing this as like a moral purity test is so bizarre. Like they just maybe wanted something more mainstream, flashy, or a different vibe.
Please stop. Please. Please. Shh. Arrête. Please arrête. And if you don't know what that means stop in French.
Yeah, just stop. If you disagree with her, just stop. Like if someone didn't like it or if they just didn't get it, that's all she has to say. Just stop. You know, if you don't like me, just stop. If you disagree with me, just stop. Like if someone didn't like it, they just didn't get it. Is that what you're saying? This is just condescending slop. Imagine thinking everyone who didn't vibe with the show was just too dense to appreciate the underlying message. Newsflash, people can fully understand something and still not like it.
Et les Français, ils savent ce que je veux dire. Ils disent aussi arrête.
Okay, so she just goes French mode at the end there. Don't really get it. I guess it's just supposed to be quirky. Sure, fair enough. I drop Spanish sometimes. Makes sense, I suppose. Okay, this is, there was no need for this, guys. As a white passing person, guys, we don't need to bring this up now. They can't accept that we didn't like that trash performance, so they want to bring politics and race into this now. If Pokimane says it was a good halftime show, then it was a good halftime show. Yeah. Nothing worse than a white... Okay, I'm not... Actually blur this out. We're cutting this. Anyway, so XQC decided to respond. He said XQC hit back at Pokimane's claim that only white men didn't understand Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance. The point of a halftime show isn't to give the world some puzzle to figure out. Now, I agree what he's saying in response to Pokimane. I think Pokimane was kind of saying like, oh yeah, if you didn't like it, you just didn't solve the puzzle, and he's kind of responding to that. I don't think there was any puzzle to really even figure out. Maybe they're both wrong. Listen, I do feel like XQC is just saying this because he wants to do another stream with Drake. At some point last year, he had him at his place and they were gambling. And I think Drake took him out to the club later. So, hey, if I'm XQC, I'm doing the same shit. I'm OVO till I die the moment Drake pulls up. So, I get what he's doing here. But whether he's doing it because he likes Drake or because this is what he actually believes, I think he's making a good counter argument. But people didn't fuck with this, okay? I guess people are just, they don't like XQC. As if trying to figure out what XQC is saying half the time isn't a puzzle in itself. I mean, that's kind of funny. If you think that's a puzzle, then you find basic things very complicated. I don't think it was a puzzle, and I don't even know if he thinks it's a puzzle. It's that she said people don't like it because they can't solve the puzzle. She probably chimed into the Super Bowl like halfway through and saw Kendrick from Music performing and was like, bro, is that Kendrick from Music? I know that guy. And then wanted to give a take. It's just crazy to like criticize people from a completely different culture than you because they didn't like something that not everyone from their culture would enjoy. Like when the out group criticizes the in group, and when the out group is Pokimane and the in group is dudes from 20 to 70 that like to drink and watch football. I don't know. I'm gonna side with the dudes that want to drink and watch football. There's also this tweet responding to the XQC claim, and it has 1 million views and 56,000 likes. He's literally just describing media literacy and admitting that he doesn't have any. This is so fucking insane to me because XQC is basically representing like the group of guys that have been drinking since 8 a.m. and have been watching the Super Bowl and don't want to be lectured about like, oh, you didn't get the message by people like Pokimane. And this person just says the same shit as Pokimane. Oh yeah, oh, you have no media literacy. Dude, that doesn't fucking matter. We're not talking about media literacy. No one who's watching the Super Bowl blackout drunk, ready to go on a fun drive is thinking, oh, media literacy. This is so stupid. This is so dumb. You're scoring points with 56,000 people that have never watched a game of football in their life. Checkmate, I just parroted the same exact point that Pokimane made, rephrased it, and got 56,000 likes. Both of us do not understand the culture that we're criticizing, and we're going to use phrases like media literacy to try to big brain our way into winning an argument about a culture that we have no involvement in and have no interest in and no engagement in. I'm going to bring up the basketball example one more time. Imagine the country singer singing about the struggles of whatever at the basketball theoretical halftime show, and black people don't like that because country is not basketball culture. And then a bunch of twats online are like, oh yeah, you just don't get it. You have no media literacy. It's just so brain dead. You just do not know your audience. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this down below. I thought it was just insanely cringe. I don't know. Just insanely whack and out of touch from Pokimane overall. At the end of the day, not everyone's a Kendrick fan, and that's fine. But yeah, see you guys next time. Peace.